In a quiet suburban neighborhood, a heartbreaking event shakes a close-knit family to its core. Meet Jamal, a bright, kind-hearted black teen whose world revolves around his loyal dog, Shadow. Shadow isn't just a pet. He's Jamal's best friend, his protector, and his constant companion. But one fateful afternoon, their bond is tested in the most unimaginable way. A routine walk turns into a nightmare when a local police officer steps in and makes a shocking decision that changes everything. As Jamal's family reels from the loss, his father, a determined FBI agent, begins to suspect that there's more to this story than meets the eye. What could drive someone to target an innocent dog? And why does it feel like this wasn't a random act? As the pieces start to come together, one thing is clear: the truth will shock everyone. Stay tuned for a story of love, justice, and uncovering hidden motives. Jamal's dad, Agent Marcus Turner, isn't just any father. He's a man who's dedicated his life to uncovering the truth, no matter how deep it's buried. When Jamal stumbles through the front door that evening, his face streaked with tears and Shadow nowhere in sight, Marcus knows something is terribly wrong. Jamal struggles to explain what happened, his voice shaking as he describes how the officer approached them without warning. Shadow, always protective, barked once, but before Jamal could calm him down, the officer acted, leaving Jamal standing there, helpless and devastated. Marcus listens, his heart breaking for his son, but his instincts kick in. Something about Jamal's account doesn't sit right. Why would an officer respond so harshly to a harmless dog? And why had this officer been patrolling their neighborhood in the first place? Marcus knows he needs to dig deeper, but the answers he's about to uncover could change everything. As Marcus begins to investigate, he quietly gathers information while trying to shield Jamal from further pain. He starts with the police department, requesting details about the officer involved. However, he's met with vague answers and resistance, which only deepens his suspicion. Meanwhile, Jamal struggles to return to normal life. He keeps expecting to hear Shadow's paws on the floor or his excited bark at the door, but the silence is a constant reminder of his loss. His friends at school try to cheer him up, but Jamal can't shake the feeling that what happened wasn't fair, and it wasn't random. One night, Marcus finds something strange. While reviewing security footage from their neighborhood, he notices the officer's car circling their block several times before stopping near Jamal. Why would a routine patrol focus so heavily on their street? Marcus senses there's more to this story, but the deeper he looks, the more dangerous the trail becomes. Late one evening, Marcus follows a lead that takes him to an old colleague from the FBI. Over a cup of coffee, he learns that the officer in question has a questionable history: complaints of profiling, excessive force, and incidents swept under the rug. As Marcus pieces together these fragments, a disturbing pattern begins to emerge. It's no longer about Shadow. It's about power, prejudice, and a system designed to protect its own. Back at home, Jamal finds a strange envelope in their mailbox. Inside is a blurry photograph of Shadow taken just moments before the incident. But who sent it? And why? The photo raises more questions than answers, leaving Jamal and Marcus uneasy. As Marcus confronts the officer's superiors, the tension escalates. He's warned to back off, but Marcus refuses to stop. Someone somewhere doesn't want the truth to come out, and they'll do anything to keep it buried. Just as Marcus begins connecting the dots, another curveball hits. Late at night, his phone buzzes with an anonymous text. ***, you're digging where you shouldn't. Drop it before someone gets hurt. ***, the message sends a chill down his spine, but it also confirms his suspicions: someone's hiding something big. Determined to protect his family, Marcus sets up additional cameras around the house, suspecting they're being watched. Meanwhile, Jamal becomes increasingly restless, unable to shake the feeling that he's somehow being blamed for what happened to Shadow. The next morning, Marcus discovers that the security footage he collected from his neighbors has been tampered with, hours of crucial evidence erased. Who could have accessed it and why? At the same time, Jamal overhears a conversation at school, suggesting the officer had a personal grudge against their family. But how could that be possible? The pieces don't fit, until a shocking discovery sends everything spiraling into chaos. The breakthrough comes when Marcus gains access to an old database linked to his FBI work. Digging deeper, he discovers a startling connection. The officer was once involved in a case Marcus investigated years ago, one that ended with Marcus exposing a corrupt operation within the local police force. This wasn't just about Shadow or even Jamal, it was revenge. The officer had been harboring resentment, and targeting Shadow was a calculated way to hurt Marcus and his family. Armed with this evidence, Marcus confronts the police department with undeniable proof of the officer's misconduct. The truth unravels quickly, exposing a web of corruption that had protected the officer for years. Shadow's fate, though tragic, becomes the catalyst for justice, as the officer is removed from duty and an official investigation is launched. But just as the family begins to feel a sense of closure, Marcus receives another anonymous text. Asterisk, this isn't over. Asterisk, the fight for justice, it seems, is far from finished. In the weeks that follow, life slowly begins to return to normal for Jamal and his family, though the absence of Shadow still lingers. The investigation into the officer's actions reveals a pattern of abuse that finally brings long overdue accountability. For Marcus, it's a bittersweet victory. While justice has been served, the cost to his family was deeply personal. Jamal finds strength in honoring Shadow's memory. With Marcus's help, he starts volunteering at a local animal shelter, channeling his pain into helping other dogs find loving homes. The bond between father and son grows stronger through their shared determination to fight for what's right. Though the anonymous text still haunts Marcus, he knows he can't live in fear. Instead, he chooses to focus on what matters most, protecting his family and standing up for justice, no matter the cost. And in that, Shadow's legacy lives on, a reminder of loyalty, love, and courage.